So, hello everybody who are here live, and to everybody else who might be listening to us wherever they are via virtual means. As a compliment to Ernie, I always love when I'm called the embodiment of state. It doesn't really make any pressure on me, but I'll try to be over it. Since I have this chance here, I would also like to make a personal approach to Terje, because when she was traveling, I wasn't, but I was following all that. And through following all that, I was traveling also. So I think this is one of the key points also of my talk, that enabling. So it doesn't also have to be me who is traveling, but you can create mobility through other ways. And another point is that Terje's bestie was also learning in the same department where I was, so another small world. And besides dealing with the mobility of performing artists, I have also been dealing with exchange students from all over the world, Colombia, Brazil, Indonesia, and I was greeting them here, also not traveling, but thanks to the fact that they came here, the whole world came here with me, and I got a lot of new experience of different cultures. So I think this main point of mobility, that it is really a dialogue, works in all walks of life. But when I talk about Estonia, then being this embodiment of state, I would like to say that Estonia is definitely small, but very rich in all kinds of variety. And since we don't talk here a lot about the residences, those virtual audiences unfortunately did not hear the presentations in the morning. But anyway, those who did know what I'm talking about from the Estonian examples. First, I will start with a few excerpts from the Estonian Cultural Strategy, Cultural Development Plan 2021 to 2030. And I know also that some of the Estonian people who are in the audience have also participated in the discussions to prepare this strategy. And I brought out the excerpts that refer to mostly the visibility of Estonia, the importance of all kinds of contacts for the local communities and local places and regions, and also the impact of mobility on the creative people and creative institutions. And when I go back to this part that the state can fulfill, then as this development plan was made with a lot of partners, creative centers, different institutions, different creative people, all kinds of institutions that we spoke with, then all these goals that are here can only be achieved together in cooperation, which is also a word that has already been said here several times. The ministry, or then all kinds of different state structures, can offer networks. I think this is, as enablers, the best thing that we can do. We have contacts with embassies, with ambassadors, I don't know, honorary consuls who are often fans of the countries that they represent, even though they don't officially work in the system. We have a network of cultural attaches, as many other countries do. In Estonia, they're mostly in the neighboring countries, Finland, and then different closer countries in the Central Europe, like Germany and France and Belgium. We offer different support programs for institutions. We also support own contribution for the Creative Europe projects, because it is a very big challenge to every small cultural organizer to go for that, to organize it, and to actually manage to put a project together. Then we have a list of different bilateral cultural agreements with different countries. Some of them have more sort of special events brought out there, but mostly they are very broad and offer different kinds of opportunities for cooperation. We work with different other institutions. Enterprise Estonia was already mentioned as a supporter of this event here right now. Their sort of more fancy new name is Estonian Business and Innovation Agency, actually. And not Ernie, they have changed it. Yeah, you have to learn it. It's a bit harder to say out. I think for all the cultural organizers also, Nordic Council of Ministers office is an important part where you can apply for funding, also a good not a business partner, also a good partner for the Ministry of Culture in Estonia also. When we go to more like creative people and individuals, then Estonia, there's a system of culture endowment where really separate people can apply for funding for go to study visits abroad or traveling or festivals or so on. When I think about this words, which I think Bojana already mentioned a lot of them, and the aims of all the mobility and residencies, then as I already mentioned about these international students that I used to work with during my times at the university, then really people who come here to Estonia or to any other place in the world, they sort of become the ambassadors themselves of that place. So they bring back to their homeland the stories of the place they visited. And I think especially when they come here for a longer visit in any of the residences, then they really learn about local communities more and sort of can exchange and bring back ideas and ideologies. Like one example, we have a representative of the Narva art residency here also. You really stand in the middle of the Estonian history, and definitely it will affect your artwork also. Another kind of thing I would like to think about as a sort of challenge or a future idea for Estonia as such is that in the remote areas where many of the residences actually are, there is a good infrastructure of all kinds of schoolhouses and former public houses and former community buildings and cultural houses that were built for a lot larger community or population. Like in many other places in Europe, we have a question of a challenge of decreasing populations in the remoter regions. And I think that this kind of residency or whatever kind of mobility, networking, internationalization is an idea also to bring these places to life and to give them like a new reason to exist, or sort of a new idea what to do with those infrastructural houses that are actually there. And then when I thought about that, I really remembered like a personal experience also. I have been to different residences in Estonia and I love all of them, and Maja, I'm really a big favorite also with all its artworks. I want to talk about my first visit to Massia, which is also one of the residences here at this presentation list. And when I first went there, then the man who actually, well, we can say purchased the place where this Massia residency is right now in Massiaru, also a small place in southwestern Estonia, about 30 inhabitants. He was standing on the roof of the schoolhouse. It's a two-story schoolhouse, and cleaning it. The man is called Jan Ritsema. He's a Dutch choreographer and director. I see Bojana nodding here. And he was 70 around that time, now passed away, unfortunately. And he was cleaning the roof there. And he is also a very known founder of a PAF residency in France, which is actually the place where many Estonian choreographers, dancers, performing artists went there for the first time to actually find out what it is, a residency, an open culture residency where you can, freely create what you want and curate it yourself. And there he was standing on the roof of that Estonian schoolhouse, a very nice schoolhouse, by the way, a heritage site. And he had bought that place, and now there is an active residency also. So I think, I don't know how, but I'm certain that somehow it will change the life of those 30 plus inhabitants living in that little place also. So there's a connection, there is building bridges there, and I would like to end also with this thing that Bojana also mentioned about different arts at risk, about artistic freedom. And this is also, I think, really a focal point for all the residences, that we can offer this, like Bojana already said, a place to actually create in peace whatever happens in your home country or wherever you're from. And there I would like to thank also the Estonian network of creative residencies that made a program for Ukrainian artists to give them this place of thinking. And when I think about one last future challenge for all the mobility, which as we all understand is really important and vital, Then I would like to stress the question of the environmental issues, because after COVID and already before that, I think trips to the festivals, short-term presentations, like actually we are having here also for 2 days, you travel somewhere, you make a little 10-minute or 30-minute speech or a presentation, you go back to your homeland. I think in some years' time we will think more and more about what's the impact of that. There, I think residency offers a very good like an answer. You go for a longer period, you have an answer quite straightforwardly about what is the impact that you leave behind on yourself, on the local community, and on the world as a whole. Thank you.